What is up, what is good, and what is going on? You are listening / watching to the fastest growing podcast about personal finance based on cardboard pictures of cartoons. So today, it is Thursday, October 22nd, 2020, and it is a very special day because today is my birthday. And on my birthday, I have chosen to sponsor my own video. It is Inside Baseball today. So today, I am choosing to open up as a gift to myself a collector's booster box of Theros Beyond Death. Now, the reason I am choosing to open up Theros Beyond Death is it is tied into the topic of the day, which is negativity. Now, negativity can come in many different ways inside your own mind, seeing it on the internet, and just trying to figure out how to avoid noise. Now, Theros Beyond Death is by far the least appreciated of all of the collector's booster boxes. It is not one of the ones that everyone goes crazy for, and I have been able to acquire a reasonable position of these at only $150 a piece, which is way less than what most, and honestly, all of the other ones go for. Now, the reason why is because I believe in the product more, and I have chosen to block out the noise of the negativity. Now, usually, what we will do is I will do a What I Bought Wednesday, and or Whiling Out Wednesday when I spent over $1,000. This is just a What I Bought This Week Wednesday, just showing some of the acquisitions that I have made for the week. I forgot to do it yesterday, but for those who saw the video yesterday, and you should have seen the video yesterday, it was a good one. You should check it out, and it will be in the description below and or the iCard. So, just gonna quickly go through it. We have a Shonen Jump Dark Magician in fairly decent condition. It's got a few surface issues and all that. I paid $25 for this. I was able to get it off of a local. There is a bit of edge wear on the top, so I did not pay the premium that this would go for. I am very likely to send it out for PSA grading for my own personal collection, because this is by far my favorite art of Dark Magician. I am also a very big fan of the Blue Eyes White Dragon artwork of that. So quickly, there is a lot of Pokemon, vintage Pokemon being purchased still, and I am not slowing down. I'm continuing to steadily add to my position. So we got a Dark Typhlosion, a Zapdos, a base set 2 Ninetales, Blastoise, Kyogre, Venusaur, a base set Hitmonchan. As you can see, super scratched up. These are all heavily played cards. This is none of the stuff that, you know, you're looking for PSA 10s. You know, this is like, these are all in the 2 to 4 range. You know, maybe some of them are a little better, but these are the cards. Nice little swirl on Scyther. These are the cards that were in shoe boxes, that were in, you know, they were in people's closets, and it's understandable. Doesn't mean I don't want them. I like the exposure to the heavily played cards from time to time, because there will come a point in my eyes where the minty cards are out of the people's range. So, continuing along that, I picked up off of Hot Sauce Games. You guys may remember Joe from Monday's video where we discussed Magic versus Pokemon in terms of investing. I picked up from him a large portion of base set hollows. So we have a moderately played Venusaur. Now, the thing is, in Pokemon, you gotta grade heavy because it's all about sending it to PSA. So what might be moderately played to you is heavily played to others. Now, we got some scratches in the foiling, you know, very small stuff, and we got some edge wear. Now, this is going to be, to a lot of people, lightly played, but it's important to know that because when it comes to the old cards, people want them in 10s. They don't, so anything below a 7 is going to be moderately played. Now, we have a couple here of heavily played Venusaurs, which have clear showing of edge wear, right? Clear issues of on the edges, and you can see that these are not going to be getting any sort of high grade. I will very likely slab them anyway, but I will not be using the fast service, which I used for other cards, because these are unlikely to get high grade. I just want them in a slab. Keeps them preserved, keeps them fresh-ish as can be. They won't get any worse, and there's no ambiguity. You know it's a 4. I have a PSA 4. I'm not expecting a ton of return, but I like to have some exposure to the lower grades as well, just to have them. They're not going to run you the crazy amounts of money. I'm able to take the other money and put it elsewhere. Here we have a moderately played Raichu, with a little bit of edge, with a little bit of scratching on the foiling, excuse me, and some edge wear. You see, I always like to buy from Joe, because Joe grades his cards very, very correctly. He does it. A lot of people might have even tried to get this off as near mint. This is not a near mint card to anybody who knows what they're looking for, but to the average eye, they might be like, what do you mean there's nothing wrong with the card? But this is clearly moderately played once you get in on the foiling and you can see the scratching. Okay, so continuing along with this, I have a few heavily played Raichus, which have clear edge wear to them. You know, these are all going to be in the lower grades. Again, will grade them. I am grading all base set hollows. It is just my opinion that I would rather have them in a slab than not. So if you send a card to me at graded10cards@gmail.com, link in the description below. I'm always buying collections. They will all be slabbed. Now here we have something a little different. These are Poliwraths. If you know me, this will be well known. I love Poliwrath. This just goes back to my childhood, where I love this Pokemon. It was my favorite Pokemon. It is not a valuable card. It is the worst of the base set hollows. Here are damaged copies, right? Now you see this. Some people might say this. See, this has a clear crease in it. This has dirt all over it, but it doesn't matter to me. I am a continuously and consistently always looking for more Poliwraths. If you were to ask me what is my endgame goal as far as a cardboard investment, I would like to own every single copy of Poliwrath, and I make no bones about it. I love this card. I love the artwork. Look how cool he looks. It's just that simple. So here we have a moderately played Poly in unlimited condition, probably looking around a PSA 4 or 5, I would say. You got a little silvering on the edges, so maybe even closer to a 4 or a 3. Still gonna send it out. Unless it's damaged, I will be sending out all of the hollows. Now you could say it's a waste, but I'm sending it on the slowest possible mail, so it allows me to get a bulk rate on my other cards as well. We have the more damaged copies here of base set. This has a crease. There's creasing all over these cards. Damage everywhere. This is what a lot of this is called. These cards were chucked in a shoebox. Probably been moved. This one is just straight up bent. I don't care. I love Poliwrath, and I want all of them. It is just my favorite Pokemon. And for those who think I'm only in this for the money, clearly you are wrong. Because if I was only in this for the money, here we have some base set 2s. Of course, we're looking for swirls on these. Got a little swirlage right there, I think. It's hard to tell on Poliwrath. Doesn't really shimmer as much on the 2s. This one's kind of nice, right? So we have just a bunch of Poliwraths, and continuing on, just going to show the MP ones, and then we'll open up the other package of what I have bought, and I am always looking to buy. And when it comes to Poliwrath, these don't go anywhere. These will never be for sale. Once they come to me, it is the end of the line, because it is just a card I really like, and I like to make my other cards go up in value, and it helps me acquire more of these. Don't go out buying out every Poliwrath because a guy on YouTube said that he wants to buy a bunch of Poliwraths. That's a waste of your money. It's not going to be, I'm not sitting here saying I want all of them, so I'm taking out credit cards and buying them. I'm slowly acquiring positions in these cards. So, just continuing right along here, we have some moderately played base set Nidokings, scratched up in the hollow, and the back has a little bit of whitening on it. like I said, still going to PSA. Doesn't matter. Going to put them all in slabs. If they come back without a crazy grade, I'm okay with it. Because I don't buy anything that I don't have the intention of holding for a very long time. So when I purchased these, I factored in the cost of grading and said, listen, I'll do that. This is a cool Mew right here. Check this out. These are real nice. These are definitely going into slabs. And we got a swirl on the Mew right at its foot, which is really cool. Yeah, you like, and a swirl right up there. We're able to see it. So these are lightly played Mews. Let's be careful with these. Those might go with a slightly faster, mostly just because I would like to see them come back. Magneton, another one similar to the Poliwrath. It's not a super popular Pokemon, but it is still a base set card, and they will, as I said, been graded. Just coming up along the last cards here, we got ourselves Kabutops and a Gyarados behind there, but Kabutops, leave this in the sleeve to do that, right? We got this. It's in very nice condition. See, when I get a card from Hot Sauce Games and Joe, and make sure you always sponsor. I'm once again representing Max Tilt Games today. Always endorse and help out your local game stores, especially during these times. They certainly need it. So this is a very, very, very nice Kabutops. Non-first, but it is definitely going out to PSA. We have Jolteon, one of my favorite cards. This one's in heavily played condition, clear whitening. Gyarados, a couple of moderately played ones. I love Gyarados. I was very happy to see Graham Stephan get one of these in his pack from the Logan Paul opening. Another great card, once again, will be slabbed up, and we will have a guess this grade when they come back. As a base set, I am not in the position to be doing that with non-base set cards yet, but I could see doing it with Fossil and Jungle. Here's a Gengar, right? Fossil Gengar. This I might give to a friend as a gift I know who, similar to me, loves Gengar, how much I love Poliwrath. And here is one I'm very happy to pick up all the time. We got another promo Mew here in HP, but Blastoise HP, but it is a Blastoise nonetheless. There'll be a point where Charizard is just unobtainable for a certain sector of the investors, and we're going to end the collectors, and they're going to have to move along to Blastoise, and I am happy to have as many copies of Blastoise as I can get my paws on. Okay, so on to the topic at hand today. It's a little longer video, I guess, but we are talking about negativity, and if you're on Facebook, for some reason you're on Twitter, you know, the world is full of very negative people who are constantly telling, oh, these cards are overpriced, they're just cardboard. Which, just an aside, and I'm going to have a whole video on it's just cardboard, that's a very offensive statement to the people who work on making these games. There are people behind these cards. So they're not just cardboard. That's like saying a car is just metal or a house is just bricks. No, it means something. These have memories, these have emotions behind them, you know, and some people have their lives involved with these, right? And it's important to try to block out the noise due to what's known as crab mentality. So if you put a bunch of crabs in a bucket, they're all trying to escape, but it's more important to them that other people don't escape, that don't get ahead if they themselves can't get out. So they will drag you down. A lot of people, you're probably out there and you said, wow, I was going to buy this card, I was going to buy this stock, I was going to do this, but I listened to my friend who talked me out of it. There's a difference between someone giving you advice and somebody just giving you just raw negativity. And people tend to lean towards negativity because people have a low risk tolerance in general. We're afraid, we have a survivalist instinct. But unfortunately, the way it really works out is if you want to make something of yourself, at some point you have to take a risk. You know, you can't just sit and throw yourself into the ground, become a carrot. Not going to work, right? Hopefully, when we open these, we can get either Nyx Bloom Ancient, Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath, Dry the Elysian Grove, or we're going to get plenty of the gods, I'm sure, right? But let's see what we can do from these as I continue to talk about negativity. See, even just looking at this set, Theros Beyond Death, I think that this is a really cool set, and there's nothing somebody can tell me otherwise. right? I've done the thoughts. I'm not just blindly talking, but when you get, especially the collector's boxes, right? I'm really bearish on the non-collector's boxes, but as we go through this, you'll see what makes these really cool to me, because you get a few really interesting things, right? Here's a Pauper staple. Now here's starting number one. You have these lands, right? You get these, they called them the Pokemon lands. They called them the Pikachu, like Pokemon lands. I think these are nice full art lands that in the future will have some value. And that adds value to the whole sealed product as a whole, right? You have the temples. You have a lot of good EDH cards. You have Dryad of the Elysian Grove. You have that. And all those things. A pair of Daxoses. And you have these really cool, these constellation cards with all the gods that have always seen some play in EDH. They're always going to be that. And to me, there's a lot of really cool cards in this product for a very small buy-in at the moment. So to me, it's like, oh, it's all the negatives. Oh, are you buying that? It's like, oh, this is stupid. It's like, but this because it's at a lower point, has a better chance of appreciating in terms of percentages than a lot of the other products. You got to look at the potential upside as well. Not just the downside due to it costing less is a lot lower. There's a smaller barrier of entry. And we got, and I think that there's a lot of really cool things in these products. Like, look at this card. This is the best card in CEDH. This is the card that broke the whole game. And it's right here. The only way currently to get a full art foil is in this. And you could open it and you have that ability. Here's a Perforos and a foil Calyx Planeswalker, good in some Enchantress decks. So it's like there's a lot of cards in this set that are really good. And I think because of the amount of product that Wizards has put out recently, this one's kind of been forgotten, And there's a lot of like underbelly value. But the thing is, when you're on the internet and you just hear the negativity, oh, what is this? Like, you're going to miss opportunities because you're too busy listening to the noise and the static. You got to let the noise go. You have to trust yourself, your instincts. Think about the pros, think of the cons, think about your own situation, think about the source of the advice you're getting, and then think, okay, does this advice apply to me? Does the advice apply to me? Because why would you tell me that this product is bad? What do you have? You know what I mean? Is someone sitting there going, oh, I have this, that, and the other thing, and I wouldn't do it? Then you say, okay. It doesn't mean that you just automatically listen to them because they have more money or more cards or more whatever. You don't know how they acquired those cards. They could be sitting in hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt, and you don't know what is the whole situation. Ooh, foil full art Phoenix of Ash, right? Look at this. Foil full art Klothys, Legacy and Vintage staple. Legacy and Vintage staple. And here it is, modern card. Played all the time, but it's in this. And everyone's like, oh, nope, there's nothing good in Theros. Theros is like, but that doesn't make any sense. There's so many cool cards. And yeah, okay, the temples, right? And they reprint the temples and all that. But that's not enough. You know what I mean? That's like, there's no duels in Throne of Eldraine. Of course, you have the castles and you have Fabled Passage, but Fabled Passage was reprinted already. So it's the same thing as a temple. You got these, and again, I think that there's some solid upside to those. Atris, Shadow Spear, and an Ashiok and Timoret. I think that these are really cool. The Constellation foils. And I'm opening this because I like it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I think the product's good. And if you just listen to the internet and the negativity, you would have never bought Kaladesh. You would have never bought Battle for Zendikar boxes. You would have never bought a bunch of stuff that all went up in value. Honestly, one of my latest strategies, as soon as someone tells me that something is really bad, I just start buying it. I'm like, oh, I need that. I need all of those cards that are no one wants them, because everything seems to perform fairly decently, and I'm not going so hard in that if it does fail, I'm screwed. You know what I mean? I'm okay losing a few dollars. I've accepted that. But if it does fail and it doesn't work out, okay, that's fine, because I'm not overextending myself. I keep it in budget. I make sure to budget my money. I try to spend as little new money on these cards as possible, and just keep it spread out. Now, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't really hoping for a big hit in this, because this box is mine. But I think there's always going to be the little bits of value. You know, there's always something in them. And it just, avoid the negative people in general. Like, avoiding the unhappy and the unlucky. It's like, it's a way that, because people are, it's just not a, you only get 24 hours in a day. I talk about that all the time, is how important your time is. You know, I'm going to have an episode in the future talking about making sure that you value your time more than you do your money. Because money can always be replaced. You could always work an extra job. You can always sell something. You could always figure it out. You can never get your time back. It is impossible. If you spend a day doing something, this will be the only way that time can be spent. So spending your time on the internet, complaining, trying to tear everyone else down, it's not worth it. It's not good for you. It's not good for the mental health. It's not good for the physical health. And in the long run, it's not going to work out the way you really want it to, right? Foil Annex is kind of cool. A couple packs left. Of course, these collector's boxes go pretty quick. You know, you spend all your time worrying about what other people do and being negative and being like, oh, this person's ugly, this person's fat, this person has got more money than me, this person's broke. You know, it's like, why are you worrying about what everyone else is doing? You got to look at yourself. What are you doing with your time? Because that is it. You're the only one in your dreams. You're the only one who's going into that grave. And I don't mean to make it so, you know, grim, but it's better to just face the truth. Is that you only have so much time in a day, so much time in your life, and then that's it. So spending it on Reddit, spending it on Facebook, you know, and just telling everyone how horrible things are or how great things, even though telling people how great things are, is just live a life where it's sustainable, that you can be happy, right? Because this is, you know, the negativity can wear you out so much. Like, every day is another thing. Someone's screaming about it. Wizards of the Coast. Like, this is a card game, man. This is supposed to be fun. I have said many times, I guess this is the first time I'm saying it on the channel, the moment that this is not fun for me, the moment that I am not enjoying this, and by enjoy, I mean to the same infatuation level that I have right now. The moment that I am not enjoying this, I'm done. I will sell everything I have. I'll go figure something else out to do with my time. Because, like I said, I value my time greatly. It's all I have. It's very important to not get caught up in the negativity, you know? Like this box here, not great. Can't say it was anything worth talking about. But you know, I enjoyed opening it up. I enjoyed talking to you guys. So with that, try to keep a positive attitude on today, October 22nd, 2020, my 31st birthday. Best birthday gift you can give to me is to crush the like and subscribe button. And if you have any collections to sell, or you would like to be involved in a box break, please message me. Email me. All the information is in the description below. So with that, hope everyone has a great day, and boom.